Hi everyone, I'm Julia Fensom. I'm the baby consultant. I thought since starting my business that I would do some educational videos about practical tips as well as other advice that anyone might want to ask. But for starters, I thought burping might be quite a good idea because it's somewhere that a lot of parents struggle. Because if you don't burp your baby properly, they tend to get very trapped with all their winds, they get really uncomfortable, they can get gassy, and then that leads to another whole host of problems. And all you need to do is just have a bit of a slightly better winding practice. However, I don't have a newborn on me, but I do have a giant 7-month-old. So, everyone, this is Tavian. Tavian, you say hello. He's very happy, as you can see. So, with him, I'm going to use him as a giant example of what you can do. And you basically just minimize it. All the moves are the same, really. So the first thing you want to do for this one, which is the knee burp, you get his legs, you tuck from around where the kneecaps are, I'll show you in a second, you tuck them into your thighs. So you can see my thighs are holding on to just above his kneecaps. For newborns, basically, when they want to burp, they bring their knees up so they can make themselves quite tight. But by doing that, they're not letting themselves kind of open up, ready to burp. So by holding onto their knees, you can actually help them stretch them out. So another way that we stretch them out, so they're not completely hunched over, you want to get open all the way there, open the chest, open the throat. You get your little fingers. With newborns, you do it with these two, under the armpit. Because this one's giant, I use my little finger, because he's a big giant baby. And then your middle finger and your thumb, you put on either side of their jawbone, just under their ears. That way you're holding onto the jaw, you're holding here, not the throat. Okay, so there's no worry of strangulation. That way you can lean them forward and rest them on the palm of your hand. So then they're not going anywhere. Even with a little one, you can sit them there the whole day. Just make sure they're still stretched out and they're up. In terms of the actual burping, let me bring them around. You, again, imagine a much smaller baby. You go all the way from the bottom and you go all the way to the top in nice, firm pats. Nice and firm. This is, again, where a lot of parents miss out because they just do it too lightly. They're too afraid. They're like, oh, I don't want to. So you go nice and firm all the way up like that, and then you can swap it, make nice big round circles, and again nice and firm. So the idea is if you imagine, oh, thank you very much, that was a very good example. So all the way up and nice big round circles. As you can see, it does work, but you just have to be firm. So it's that kind of making sure you're firm, but not too firm. And it encourages the air to travel all the way up and then out, which is effectively what you want. Now, the next one that I tend to do, which is really I only do two, depending on how I'm feeling. For this one as well, if you're wearing nice trousers, just lean them a little bit further over, and then any spit up will just land on the floor. And you can wipe that up later. Or put a muslin on your legs, and then that will catch it as well. Or your hands. Your hands are always a very good place to catch vomit. It's lovely. Alright, so next one, when you're doing over the shoulder one, again, muslin over the shoulder. I'm hoping he won't vomit all over me, but you just had your breakfast. He was very happy about that. So, it's the shoulders, it's the arms. Try and get their arms over your shoulders, draped over your shoulders. Excuse me, your arms over my shoulder. There you go, thank you very much. And that way, again, it stretches them out. Quite often, if you leave them over, they can crunch themselves up if they've got their hands down by their side. So by putting their shoulders and their arms over your shoulder, it stretches them out. And again, all the way from the bottom, all the way to the top. All the way from the bottom, all the way to the top. Again, just be very careful with this because little newborns do kind of fling themselves around. So you might just suddenly have one lunging itself out of your arm. So just always be ready for that. Try and keep your left arm, if that's what you're doing it, try and keep it up a bit more so you can kind of balance their head using your arm. So, because their shoulders are up, their own arms kind of catch their head. And that are my top tips for burping. A small baby, not a giant 7-month-old. He said bye-bye.